Hey everybody, welcome to SMG Viewers Comments number 58. It's where I try and answer some of your best questions and take on some of your best criticisms. Let's get right to it.
Hey Glenn, does it matter the room where you record the guitars?
Why, yes it does, actually. Not so much like, say, if you're recording a drum set where you actually want to get room sounds or whatnot, but the shape of your room can definitely have a huge impact on your guitar sound. I've noticed just from years of working in the studio, just moving the cabinet around from place to place to place in my live room, that the tone will shift rather dramatically. And actually, I think that's a great idea for a video to investigate, you know, how much of a difference it makes in your guitar sound. I mean, like, I know there's cases where guys will put like, you know, like little combo amps into a bathroom and whatnot because they're going to get a bit more reverberation. Even though you're close mic'd, you know, you're still going to pick up resonances and vibrations from the room. So all of that is going to have an effect on your tone. For further investigation into how to treat your room to make it sound better for miking an amp, I highly recommend checking out the John Sears Studio Design Forum.
I dare him to take the Spider and put a guitar with EMGs and a tube screener for a boost into the Crunch channel. Actually sounds good.
No, it won't. In fact, I think on my original Line 6 Spider review, I think I did use my Schecter Hellraiser, which is already loaded with EMGs. I wasn't reviewing an overdrive, I was reviewing the sound of that amp. But you know what? Challenge accepted. I'm looking for a Spider right now, and yeah, I'll do exactly what you say, and we'll see if we can get a halfway decent sound out of it or not. Time will tell.
I actually really enjoyed the history background segment of this video. I'd love to see some SMG videos about the history of popular gear.
You asked for it, you got it. I think we're going to be doing a whole series on that. That Strat video kind of went way beyond what we'd ever imagined it would have done. So obviously there's a bit of a demand for that. So we are going to be embarking on some more cool history things. I remember we did like the history of distortion last year. That worked out pretty well as well. I think those retrospectives are a lot of fun to do. Actually, I can't take full credit for the Fender video though. Brandon Wright actually wrote the script on that, and Brandon's played on a bunch of stuff. In fact, he played rhythm guitar on that Strat demo. Brandon's a massively talented voiceover guy and a fantastic writer as well. So I think we're going to be bringing Brandon in to do some more history pieces because I really liked how that one went. It was a lot of fun to do. And we're going to take a look at some more historical gear.
Glenn, what brand of pickups do you prefer in your guitars? I am an EMG guy myself, but I would like to explore my options. Hi from York, PA.
You know, when it comes to pickups, I really don't have a particular favorite brand. I've got a number of guitars loaded up with EMGs. Those are fantastic. I've got Seymour Duncans in my Ibanez and my Chapman. Those are great. I'm actually having a custom guitar built for me by Charbonneau just outside of Montreal. And Seymour Duncan is actually putting pickups into that for us. We're going with like the Nazgul and the Sentient. I'd like to thank Keith Merrow for making that happen. You rule, dude. You know, I mean, but I've got, what do I got? I got Mojo Tones. I got a Mojo Tone in the bridge in my Transparent Warlock, and I've got these organic pickups that were given to me earlier this year that are going to be probably going into that black Strat from the Strat demo. I actually got this routed finally, and these almost fit, and I actually shot a video segment about how to route out your pick guard, and it's pretty awful looking, but at least it'll do the job. But yeah, I mean, like when it comes to pickups, I don't actually have one particular affiliation. I mean, they've all got their own kind of sound and whatnot. The one set of pickups I really want to take a look at, though, are the Glen Tipton EMGs, because I am a gigantic Judas Priest fan. In fact, if it weren't for Judas Priest, I wouldn't be doing music at all.
Hey Glenn, I just opened up my first recording studio. Got any advice for an audio engineer pleb?
Yeah, actually I do. Number one, don't ever charge flat rates because you're going to get fucked so fucking hard on that. Number two, don't take flat rates because you will get fucked, seriously. And number three, always get paid before handing out anything, because the minute you give your product away, your clients will vanish and you'll never see them again. It's happened to me a few times early on in my career, and yeah, that's just something I don't do, and I make that very clear to the clients. I don't give out anything till I get paid, and if you can't handle those rules, please go somewhere else. Believe me, it's not worth the grief.
Hey Glenn, I want to say thanks for showcasing Drumatom. It's helped me a lot as a small home studio owner. I used to use a lot of gating and noise reduction on snare and bass drum tracks since I record a lot of metal bands, and DT has made the process much easier.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying as well. Drumatom is just a fucking amazing tool. It's seriously got to be one of the most important advances in drum processing in the last 20 years. It's just fucking fantastic. And, you know, I take a lot of heat from some guys on that, but usually those are the guys who are sitting at home playing with Easy Drummer, not actually working with real drum tracks. We're going to see where that goes in the future. I'm probably going to do some more stuff with Drumatom as time comes along. Or as time goes along. I'm going to be doing a major drum tracking session next week at Phase 1 Studios in Toronto, and we're going to be doing a little documentary on that. That's going to be a lot of fun, working with a Toronto band. They really like my drum sounds, and there's a big story behind that. Anyway, it's one of Canada's best drum rooms, and I can't wait to get in there, but I'm sure we're going to be using Drumatom just to help out if we've got any bleed issues.
Glenn, as a fairly long-time follower, I don't think you've ever answered this one. What is your absolute worst experience with a bassist in the studio?
I don't think I have a particular favorite. It's usually the same story where they just come in and don't know the material. I mean, like, I think the worst experience we had was a guy who could actually play bass but didn't actually bother to learn the material, you know, because he was just overconfident. And, you know, we'd come in and we'd record 4 to 10 seconds and then have to punch in every time the riff changed because he didn't do his homework. It's like, what the fuck, man? You've got this all this ability. Maybe you should, like, put forth an effort or something. You know, guy had great technique, you know, really strong fingers, you know, played wonderful finger pick style, and you know, completely unimpressed. You know, it's like, oh, you think you're good? Why don't you show me by learning the fucking songs? You know, that'd be difficult. And the thing was, he was from out of town, so it wasn't like a case where I could send him home and like go fucking learn this shit because I wouldn't see him again for another 6 months probably. It was a case of, yeah, I had to sit there with my fucking thumb up my ass while the guy learned the fucking material. Don't do that to your engineers. Seriously, it's just it's so fucking disrespectful.
On the street, I was wearing the Rule Number 2 shirt, and I encountered someone that was also wearing one. After talking to him, turns out we were both bass players.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. All the cool kids wear these shirts, and you can get yours at the SpectreMedia.ca shop.
Hey Glenn, how much time is usually between recording the talking parts of the videos until it's uploaded? 3 to 4 days? Thanks.
That really depends. I usually release my videos sometime between around noon or 1 p.m. Eastern because a large part of the viewership for this channel is in California and Texas. So that's usually like, you know, 9, 10 a.m. their time. And honestly, though, I'm usually up at about 7 or 8 in the morning doing my monologues and then editing and then just getting it ready. The videos that are released at noon are the ones that I got done in time, and the ones that I released at 1 p.m. on my time are the ones that I just didn't quite get done early enough. So there you go. Yeah, usually a lot of it's last minute. Sometimes if I've got a road trip or something to do, I'll do a couple of videos ahead of time. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm shooting this is Friday's video, but it's actually Tuesday morning. And tomorrow morning we're on our way to Montreal, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be checking. We're going up to Charbonneau Guitars and taking a look at that. There's going to be a video on that the next week because Pierre builds some fucking amazing stuff. And you know, we're going to be meeting up with John Asher from Asher Media, who's a concert promoter friend who we met in Edmonton. Great dude. Hopefully, we're going to get to interview him and talk to him about a few things as well.
Hey Glenn, what is your favorite comic book? What publisher do you like the most? What's your favorite comic book artist, including as pencilers, inkers, and colorists? Yes, I know you're colorblind, but I mean the rendering itself, well, coloring style, not just bare colors.
Oh, fuck, that's a tough one. Okay, I'm not completely colorblind, I'm only partially. I have a hard time sometimes telling red and green apart. All depending, you know, like red in front of a green background, I have a real hard time seeing. Favorite comic book artist, that's a tough one. Favorite comic book is Heavy Metal, which is a you know, collection of mostly European short science fiction and horror stories. I've been collecting Heavy Metal magazine actually since September of 1989. I have every single issue since then. I've been a subscriber for the longest time because here in Windsor, it's very hard to get bi-monthly publications because most people just don't stock them. But Heavy Metal is definitely my book of choice. Mobius is probably one of my all-time favorite comic book artists. You know, there's always the classics, you know, like Jack Kirby and that kind of stuff too. But I mean, like for me, Mobius really did it. Most of the artwork I dig is in that. I'm starting to get into Japanese manga as well, and there's some really amazing artwork in that stuff. I'm a huge okay, when it comes to an actual serial comic, I'd say probably my all-time favorite serial comic was Akira. And again, just amazing stuff. I don't know the name of the artist on that offhand, but that was really well done. I just don't go for the traditional superhero type comics. I like stuff that's a little deeper, a little more science fiction-y. Another book that really impressed me was I did get the Before Watchmen series, and whoever drew the Ozymandias book, that was fucking brilliant. It's very reminiscent of what the artwork in Heavy Metal. And I always really dug the more European stuff because it just seemed more intricate and a little bit more expansive, so to speak, and a little more mind-blowing, to be honest with you. If you haven't read Heavy Metal, I highly recommend checking it out. It's fucking unbelievable.
Satanism is actually better than Christianity and has better moral values than Christianity. Those people who burned down the churches during the 90s were murderers and weren't true Satanists. I'm a Satanist, and this isn't how we normally act. Satanists are actually really chill people.
You know, this is kind of a tough one, but I'm going to take this on because I thought this is kind of interesting because it's the same flawed logic every religious apologist, no matter the sect, uses. It's the no true Scotsman argument. And the no true Scotsman argument is basically to dismiss the example given for a more purified version. And it just never works. I mean, yes, they were Satanists who burned shit down. They were extremists. Does that mean all Satanists are extremists? No, but they are part of the religion. It's the same thing with Christians who blow up an abortion clinic or something like that. You know, again, not all Christians have those extremist views, but it is part of it. Or Muslims who blow shit up in the name of their God. You know, that's happening an awful lot lately. Does that mean all Muslims support extremist views? No, of course not, but it is an ugly part of the religion. And merely dismissing it is only burying your head in the sand. Religion is flawed. Religion has always been flawed, and ignoring those flaws doesn't do any of us any good because we're only lying to ourselves.
Huge fan of your videos and your delivery. People claim you're too harsh, but all I see is a man who is tired of stupidity and subpar musicianship, along with egos and attitude. If everyone were as great as they let on, then your material would show that, I think. Keep up the awesome work, and thanks again.
Thanks so much for writing in. I'm glad you enjoy the show. It's just been an amazing ride so far. And once again, I'd like to welcome all the new people who've signed on as subscribers. Thanks so much for coming on board with me. We'll see where this goes. I mean, like, there is still a ton of ground to cover when it comes to recording. I mean, like, I'm still got to get into the How to Mix Heavy Drums series. And, you know, there's just so much gear out there to review and so many bass players to put in their place and say, hey, fucking practice your instrument. All right, before I go, I just want to say, please check out my shop at spectremedia.ca. If you're so inclined, please sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's absolutely free. It's going to offer discount codes for merchandise. There's going to be giveaways as well, and an exclusive video each week for subscribers to the newsletter only. So that's going to be really cool. Once again, it doesn't cost you anything to sign up. Check it out at spectremedia.ca. The link is in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.